Okay, back on reassembly. Got my crankshaft. It's back from the shop. We ended up going grinding 10 under on the rods, 10 under on the main bearings, so parts are ordered for that. One thing I can do is install cam bearings. I've already knocked one in as a test, and my tool worked. I have a universal cam bearing installation tool, so I'm going to go ahead and put these cam bearing in. One thing you have to be aware of is that there's you actually see a witness mark for where the oil ring hole used to be on this side. Clean that up, and then so there's a hole in your cam bearings. Oil passes through, and these cam bearings are in order in the box. So the first bearing I put in is that one. Second bearing go here. Middle bearing, journal 3, so on and so forth. And I'm not gonna lie, driving cam bearings is not my favorite activity. I'm always worried that I've done more harm than good. That one looks kind of galled. I hope the camshaft fits. If not, this block may be off to the machine shop. We'll try to do everything we can ourselves. Keep this thing cheap, except for I'm gonna have to buy parts twice if it doesn't work. Either way, let's we'll do this, and then we'll test fit the camshaft and cry or rejoice, one or the other. All right. Okay, here we go, back on the motor. I'm gonna get the crankshaft. It's back from the machine shop. I took 10 off the main, 10 off the rod bearings, so I've got bearings in. I'm gonna go ahead and put this crankshaft in and torque it, and we'll see how it goes. So, last, got Engine Tech BC interchanges with MB 5293SI, product of Israel. 10, hoping that dash 10 means that they're oversized 10 thousandths. Got the main bearings, and then the thrust bearing goes in journal 3. What I'm going to do is liberally Well, crankshaft is installed, still spins. Put some sealant on these cross bolts so that it can leak oil goodly. Yeah, we'll see. It's enough for tonight. Okay, next step of the engine assembly, putting together the bottom half of the motor, the short block as it would be called, the piston ring installation, top groove, second groove, oil rings. Have to confirm because the top, it says top, it's etched top, but on here it says to put the top on the right side of the ring groove. But if I did that, then the ring would be upside down. Figure that out. This ring groove doesn't have dots or etching, it's square. I etched these with the engraver before I took them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't know if that matters, but at least what was in there will go back where it was. These are flash rusting because I sprayed them down with this parts cleaner, which I'm starting to like pretty good. It hangs out a little bit longer than brake clean. It is hardcore stuff. I don't know. It's good for you. Contains tetrachloroethylene and carbon dioxide. I don't know. It works. Cleaning these up pretty good. Pistons are all cleaned up. It doesn't flash off and dry quite the way brake cleaner does because it's a different chemical formulation. Alright. Okay, so I was just going to do rings, but I got number 1 knocked in. All the rings are installed and clocked for the instructions. So, you know what? Let's go ahead and make a short block out of it, I guess. Okay, what a pain in the butt. All the pistons are in. Went ahead and clocked number 1 top dead center. that is almost a short block, folks. So next, we'll throw cam in, and then just, you know, all it likes is finishing up. Okay, so I've got tensioners installed, or started. Got the part I was waiting on. This is the thrust plate for the camshaft. As you might see, that seal is flat, and this seal is raised, and it's part of your oil galley for your lifters. So if this is leaking inside, it probably is not good for your oil pressure. So I ordered one of these. It's like 12 bucks. Camshaft is in. Yeah, so we just keep reassembling the bottom end, rotating assembly, get a timing chain on this thing. Torx calls for 18 foot-pounds on this, 18 foot-pounds there, and then we'll talk about the cam bolt. I'll put the cam bolt in it. So this is the right one. Not 150. That much torque. That was stripped. Future me problem. Okay. Thrust plates in, tensioners on, some oil on this cam bolt. One thing to note, got timing mark because I have the cylinder at top dead center, and Make sure the timing mark and the dot line up so that the cam is in time with the rest of the motor. Timing dots are lined up. Well, that's not doing anything now anyways. New tensioner. These things get oil and brittled over time, and I wouldn't reuse one. Maybe. So 50 foot-pounds and 50 degrees. While somehow keeping the motor from turning over. So I had to get a little creative there. One thing I have done is replaced the original plastic barbell with this nice billet number that has O-rings. I'll put this plug in, and that's probably going to be everything I do for the night. Okay, windage tray, clean enough. It's going to go on top of the studs that are in the main caps. So, front towards the front, something like that. Too tight. that bad boy crank. Torque them to 18 foot-pounds. Moment. This has to be loose before you tighten this. Go ahead and over tighten that one, and then resume installing this one up here too. Reassemble gloopy lifters to lifter trays into the block, and hopefully put cylinder heads on. We'll see. I don't know how far I'll get. Push rods, soaking in some acetone, getting one last shot at being good and clean, and get started working. Okay, lifter trays, lifters are all in after they've been pre-lubed with oil. See down there, lifter is touching on the camshaft. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 AFM cylinders, which are probably the reason why these motors don't last anyways. So next, we wipe the head surfaces down, get the studs in, put heads on, I think.